Hello and welcome to the first video in a series about the Institutional Review Board and the processes they follow. This training is being offered through the University of Illinois Springfield's Office of Research and Sponsored Programs. The IRB is the Institutional Review Board, and this specifically applies to research with human subjects. They work to ensure that the subjects are being treated ethically and that their rights and welfare are adequately protected. Research and human subjects are both federal definitions when it comes to the IRB. Because not all studies fall under the federal definition of research and not all human data falls under human subjects research, the IRB helps determine if it falls into that category, and if so, how much oversight is needed. So how does one know if a project needs IRB review? First, does it meet the federal definition of research? And second, does it meet the federal definition of human subjects? Both of these have to be true in order for it to fall under IRB review. In some cases, the answers are really obvious and that something is or is not human subject. Whether or not it is research can be a point of confusion because it is a federal definition. It is the investigator's responsibility to determine whether or not the activity meets the definition of human subjects research and would be subject to the regulation of IRB. However, investigators who proceed with human subjects research without approval will be held liable. There exist determination charts to help you decide, does it fall under research? Does it fall under human subjects? Determination charts are located in a link on the Research and Sponsored Programs webpage under IRB and Integrity Programs, IRB, about research and human subjects. Scrolling down, you are able to see the decision tools. UIS has a non-research determination chart, which is more streamlined, or if you prefer the Office of Human Research Protection, they have several decision charts available for you. You will start with chart 1 and move through until a determination is made. There are 14 different charts, some that will apply and some that will not. Now, I keep alluding to this federal definition of research. What that is a systematic investigation, including research development, testing, and evaluation, designed to develop or contribute to generalizable knowledge. And that generalizable piece is really what the IRB is looking for. For example, an oral history is usually not considered research because that is one person's story told from their point of view. It is not being generalized into a larger picture. Journalism, for the same reasons, often is not considered research. Biographies are typically not considered research. A literary criticism, legal research, and historical scholarships are not examples of research. Additionally, public health surveillance activities, when they are sponsored, typically do not fall under research. Collections of analysis of information, biospecimens, or records by or for a criminal justice agency, not research. Authorized operational activities in support of intelligence, homeland security, defense, or other national security missions do not fall under IRB and federal definitions of research. Additionally, one item that is not listed that should be made known, especially in a university setting, is that research activities in the classroom setting exclusively used for the classroom or for improving a professor's methods, these are not considered research. That is considered an internal evaluation as long as it is not being used to generalize knowledge past the classroom. If any of these are on a line and you are not sure if it falls under the federal definition of research, or if it does, then the Human Subjects Review Officer can be sent the gist of the project and make a determination if no, that is not human subjects research, or yes, and now you should probably fill out an entire application and provide all of the documentation. The definition of human subjects is a little more intuitive and straightforward. It is a living individual about whom an investigator conducting research obtains information or biospecimens, or obtains, uses, studies, utilizes, analyzes, or generates identifiable private information or identifiable biospecimens. Notice the identifiable part is very important. If you have access to a public database that is completely anonymous, while that data may pertain to human subjects, you are not dealing with human subjects data. Because you as a researcher have absolutely no way to identify the individuals or gain access to their private information, that no longer constitutes as human subjects. However, if you are given access to a private data set that has identifiable information, that more than likely does fall under human subjects research. Even if it is anonymous, if it's a private set, it could go either way and really should go to the Human Subjects Review Officer for determination. The IRB process starts with the pre-submission. This is the investigator gathers their team, starts the training, develops documents. All of this is done before being submitted to the Office of Research and Sponsored Programs. Once everything is believed to be completed, then it will be submitted and go into pre-review. That is conducted by a staff member of the Office of Research and Sponsored Programs. They may communicate with the investigator. There may be some back and forth if anything is missing. Even little blanks count as a compliance issue, so we will send it back until it is administratively correct. Once everything is administratively completed, it will be forwarded to one IRB member for initial review. If it needs to go to full board, or if it needs a second opinion, it will go to other members and do a category determination. For exempt and expedited categories, it does not need to go through an entire meeting process. This can be completed in just a few weeks by one or two IRB members. If it does go to full board, it will take longer because it has to go to the next monthly meeting where there is room on the agenda. After a category is determined, it hopefully will get approved. The IRB application is, to be quite honest, quite a long document. So make sure you allow yourself enough time to complete it, to allow time for the possibility of needing to revise things or complete documents that maybe weren't included in the first go around, and also to give time for reviewers to review, to also send it back for comments, and for the possibility that it might go to the full board. And depending on when you submitted it, it may not go to the first board meeting after you submit it. It might have to go to the one after that, just due to time limits and how full the agenda is. For each of the sections, there will be a separate video, so I won't go too in-depth into what that includes, but you really need to know all of the aspects of your project, and questions should not be skipped unless they don't have an asterisk and it just does not apply. Make sure you are writing clearly and plainly and you are avoiding jargon. The board does have scientists, but it may not be in your field. There are non-scientists and there is a community member on the board as well. When you are describing procedures and processes, don't be too vague, because then we won't understand exactly what you're doing and there might be a lot of clarification questions. But also don't be too specific, because you might need to, there might be unnecessary modifications or amendments further down the line if you restrict yourself too much. Throughout the review of your research protocol, the reviewer or reviewers will be weighing the risks of the research, whether those are psychological, legal, economic, physical, or just privacy concerns, being weighed against the benefits. And those can be educational benefits, benefits to the individual, scientific field benefits, or social benefits. If you ever have any additional questions about the IRB application process or human subjects research, please reach out to our office at ora@uis.edu, especially if you can't find what you need to on our website, or if there just wasn't enough information on the videos, or if you have such a unique situation, we just couldn't prepare for what your question was in these resources. But definitely reach out. We try to be very responsive and make sure that you are able to do your research.